found sports.
I found my passion.
I found family.
I found my calling. I found a place to call home. Discover what you can find at Marietta by visiting marietta.edu today.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, President Trump's controversial ad is pulled off of several news networks.
And Cesar Sayoc is set to go on trial.
We've got these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts right now. Afternoon and welcome to Tuesday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Landon Santini.
And I'm George Riffle.
Topping our news this afternoon, NBC, Fox News Channel, and Facebook all said Monday they will stop airing President Donald Trump's campaign advertisement that featured an immigrant convicted of killing 2 police officers. CNN had also rejected the same ad, declaring it racist. The ad has already likely been seen by more people than it would have if it had kept running. NBC aired it on the Sunday night football game between the New England Patriots and Green Bay Packers, which drew the highest overnight ratings of the franchise's history. MSNBC also aired it on Morning Joe on Monday. Released last week, the advertisement includes footage of Luis Barcomontes, a twice-deported immigrant from Mexico sentenced to death in California for killing 2 police officers. Earlier versions of the ad blindly claimed that Democrats let him into our country.
Pipe bomb suspect Cesar Sayoc is set to make his first court appearance in New York. Sayoc was being transferred from federal custody in Florida and was expected to arrive in New York ahead of a Tuesday court hearing. Prosecutors say they will ask a judge to hold Sayoc without bail because he is considered dangerous. Sayoc faces charges for allegedly mailing more than a dozen explosive devices to prominent Democrats, critics of President Donald Trump, and CNN. Prosecutors say the most recent crude bomb was recovered Friday in California, addressed to the liberal activist Tom Steyer. Sayoc faces nearly 50 years in prison if convicted.
Oh, we felt good weather lately. Wouldn't you agree, George?
Yeah.
But will that continue today?
Here with the first look at the weather is Jessica Hill.
Hi guys, so here we have our weather. It feels like 61 is pretty nice outside, sweater weather, and the humidity is 75, so a little bit hot and humid out there, but we can pull through it. At least it's a nice temperature now. The wind is 12 miles per hour, so you have a nice breeze starting through. The high is 63 with a low of 42, so if you're out in the mornings or if you're out at night, make sure that you have thicker sweaters on because you will get chilly. The dew point is 45 with a low UV rating because of all the clouds we're having. Sunrise was at 6:59 a.m. I don't know who was up then, but the sun was up. And sunset is at 5:19 p.m. Back to you guys at the desk.
I don't know if you can hear this right now, but there's a little bit of weather going on the roof. So that should be interesting. Thank you so much for letting us know about that, Jessica. In other news, a Utah mayor who was also a Utah Army National Guard major training commandos in Afghanistan was fatally shot by one of his Afghan trainees, officials said this past Sunday. Brent Taylor had taken a year-long leave of absence as mayor of North Ogden, north of Salt Lake City, for his deployment to Afghanistan. He was a military intelligence officer with Joint Force Headquarters and was expected to return to his mayoral job in January. Another U.S. military member, whose name was not immediately made public, was wounded in Saturday's attack that killed Taylor, who died from wounds from small arms fire, military officials said.
British police have charged a South London man with preparing a terrorist attack act and collecting information likely to be useful to a person preparing an attack. Police said Monday that 40-year-old Steve Bishop has been charged with violating the Terrorism Act and will appear in Westminster Magistrates Court on Tuesday. The statement also says a 47-year-old South London man arrested on October 29th on suspicion of preparing terrorist acts has been released without being charged. British officials have set the official terrorist threat level at severe, indicating that an attack is judged by intelligence analysts to be highly likely.
Coming up next, we'll look back at some of last weekend's events.
Plus, we'll look forward at some upcoming events.
We'll be right back after this.
I never chew tobacco.
I don't drink much.
Never smoked a cigarette in my life.
HPV. Isn't that about cervical cancer?
What does that have to do with oral cancer?
HPV? Didn't know that.
Good afternoon, we're back. Topping our news, last Friday's First Fridays events in downtown Marietta was sponsored by Marietta College. The event was themed Future Pioneers and was meant to introduce the younger students to the community and connect them to the local businesses. There were meet and greets with the student athletes, as well as raffles for gift baskets and tickets to future Pioneer games. The event is always used to promote the local businesses in downtown Marietta, which are the cornerstone for this community.
The Unique Boutique event was held last weekend, serving as a fundraiser by selling clothing items for all ages. The clothing items, always $10 or cheaper, were collected mostly through donation. The funds for the event go to service projects such as ones that fund scholarships for women and raising awareness for international issues such as human trafficking.
The Washington County Bar Association and volunteer attorneys are offering a free advice clinic on the third Wednesday of every month. The next clinic will be from 6 to 8 p.m. on November 14th at St. Luke's Episcopal Church at 320 2nd Street in Marietta. Walk-ins are welcome, and the clinic is for Washington County residents unable to afford legal representation, less than 200% of the poverty guideline.
The Evergreen Arts and Humanities series at Washington State Community College in collaboration with the Schruderman Agency Incorporated and Marietta Community Foundation, announced that an upcoming lecture presented by Dr. Sarah Wyatt entitled Anatomy of a Spaceflight Experiment at 9:30 a.m. Wednesday in the community room located in the main building. The lecture is free and open to the public.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at what is happening around the region.
We'll be right back after this.
And you can't possibly forget about the weather. That's coming up too in the next block. I'll tell you all about it. We got the 5-day forecast. We got the highs. We got the lows. We got the weather.
November is No Shaver Month at City of Hope. That means, throughout November, to raise awareness about prostate cancer, City of Hope is urging men to stop shaving and get screened. But here's my problem. When I grow out my beard, I end up like this. I mean, have you ever? And you know how long this took me? What do I have? A couple of little hairs here? I mean, man, it's useless. How about this? How about this? Very Lincoln-esque, don't you think? How about this? Oh, you put them. Well, that's not the way I heard it. For all you men watching, do what I can't. Let your beards grow. And while you're at it, get screened. No shaver with City of Hope. Grow it, show it, know it.
County officials in Ohio are working to determine why the county emergency sirens are going off unexpectedly and without warning. Clermont County officials had to take to social media on Saturday to assure the public that there was no danger when the sirens went off that morning. The Cincinnati Enquirer reports county officials and service provider Mobilecom are investigating why county sirens also mysteriously went off more than a week ago. Clermont County spokeswoman Kathleen Williams says the mysterious triggering of sirens could run a risk of causing residents to disregard the sirens. Williams says residents should pay attention to social media and local news in case of an emergency, saying she understands the frustration.
Police say the bodies of a man and a woman have been found in a parked minivan in Ohio, and a man has been charged with murder in the slangs. Columbus police say the bodies were found Sunday afternoon in a Columbus neighborhood, and the man and woman appeared to have been beaten. Police say cause of death and positive identifications for the two will have to be confirmed by Franklin County's coroner's office. 54-year-old John H. Jordan of Columbus was arrested on murder charges in both deaths. Police did not comment on any potential motive.
In much more lighthearted news, the 20 people selected for the 2018 class of the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame will be inducted at a public ceremony this week. The Ohio Department of Veterans Services and Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame Foundation will hold the ceremony on Thursday at Radiant Life Church in the Columbus suburb of Dublin. The class will be honored with medals by Chip Tansill, Director of the state's Department of Veterans Services, and Lieutenant Governor Mary Taylor. The Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame was established in 1992 to recognize outstanding professional achievement, service to the community, and selfless acts of veterans following their military service. Well, today's entertainment news features an old rocker and tales from the Old West, with an Oscar-winning actress thrown in for good measure.
John Powers has details in the Hollywood Minute.
He's going back on the rails of the tour train. Rolling Stone reports Ozzy Osbourne has announced 27 additional dates for his No More tours too. The Prince of Darkness has forced to postpone several dates recently due to staph infection on his hand. Casting news, Allison Nani teams with J.J. Abrams. The Hollywood reporters say the Academy Award-winning actress will star in a dramatic thriller, Lou, being made by Abrams' Bad Robot production company. Here's your latest look at The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. The latest movie from Coen Brothers is an anthology set in Old West and told in 6 parts. The film rides into theaters for a limited run November 8th before streaming on Netflix beginning November 16th. I'm John Powers in Hollywood, and stay classy, Marietta.
Yes, we shall definitely be classy indeed. We looked sharp and dapper, don't you think, George?
Yeah. What do you have for us, Jessica?
I've got the weather. Here's the lows. So as you can see around our nice Ohio region, we're going to be around the 60s. That's what I said a little bit earlier today, so that's still accurate. And now here we are with the highs. We are going to be getting up to a little bit, probably like maybe 73, 74. If you're feeling really risky, 65. And then here we have all of our condensation. Thankfully, we are getting poured on this week. All of the green stuff's the rain, and that little red dot's us, and all of the green stuff is away from us. So we're doing good there. We don't even have cloud coverage. As you can see, green stuff down in Charleston, up in Morgantown, not really in Pittsburgh, some clouds, and here we are. No clouds, no rain. We're good. And then here we are with the 5-day forecast. So Tuesday, we are going to be having some nice sunny weather, no clouds, with a high of 63 and a low of 42. So a little bit chillier out there, but we're getting into fall. 60s is about the best we can expect at this moment. Wednesday, it's going to be partly sunny, still no rain, with a high of 53 and a low of 33. It's starting to get a little bit more colder. Thursday, all the sun, with a high of 50 and a low of 40. Friday, showers. Not a good day Friday. With a high of 49 and a low of 30. And then Saturday is going to be cloudy with a high of 40 and a low of 25. So this weekend, wear rain jackets and really warm coats. That's all I got for weather. Back to you guys.
Well, I must say I'm not looking forward to the colder temperatures, but it's worth it to see all the beautiful, beautiful colors on the leaves outside, on the trees as they're falling down.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely shades of oranges outside this very studio, as a matter of fact. When we come back, Raimundo Pastor will have the latest from the world of sports.
Stay with us.
I think it goes around.
Come on, buddy.
I'm here for you.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Look, look.
Why is this so hard?
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
I read it. Look, and it's set.
And now we're back with Raimundo Pastor for a look at sports.
What do you have for us today, Raimundo?
The U.S. Olympic Committee is moving to revoke USA Gymnast status as the governing body for the sport at the Olympic level. The decision comes after USA Gymnastics botched its own reorganization in the wake of a sex abuse scandal involving former team doctor Larry Nassar. USOC CEO Sarah Hirschland issued an open letter to the gymnastics community saying you deserve better and that the challenges facing USA Gymnastics are more than it is capable of overcoming as currently constructed. USA Gymnastics is in search of its fourth president and CEO in the last 19 months, thanks to a late series of resignations, all of them under pressure from the USOC or the Gymnastics Committee at large. Ohio State forward Micah Potter is transferring 2 days before Buckeyes season opener. The university announced the decision Monday but did not say to what school. The junior was going. Potter dealt with ankle injuries his first 2 years and has not met expectations that he would become a dominant inside player. He appeared in 59 games with 16 starts, averaging 4.1 points and 2.8 rebounds, while shooting 48%. The Buckeyes open Wednesday at Cincinnati. The Baseball Writers Association of America announced this year's finalists for the season's top individual awards. These merits are awarded based on a regular season performance and are voted on by a panel of baseball writers across the league. The Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, C.Y. Young, and Most Valuable Player awards for both the American and National Leagues will be announced next week, starting with the Rookie of the Year on Monday. Cleveland Cavaliers assistant Larry Drew has agreed to a new contract to be the team's interim coach for the remainder of the season. He wanted some guarantees and security during a rebuilding season for the Cavs, who are 1-8 entering Monday night's game in Orlando. Drew became acting coach when Tyronn Lue was fired last week, and he asked the team to reconstruct his deal if he was going to be named interim head coach.
Raimundo, and now join us at the desk is Jessica Hill for one last look at the weather. I don't know if you at home can hear this, but we can hear from inside the studio, we can hear the rain coming down pretty hard on our roof. So do you think that's something that we should have to worry about, Jessica?
Well, according to the 5-day forecast, the only day we should be worrying about is Friday. But you never know with weather. It's better to be safe than sorry and always have a jacket, honestly. Besides, 60 is kind of cold and it's getting close to the holiday season. You don't want to be catching a cold now anyways.
Weather's very unpredictable, isn't it? That just about wraps it up for Tuesday's edition of NewsCenter 15. But before we go, don't forget that tonight on WCMO TV, we will be covering all of the day's election stories in our special election edition of NewsCenter 15. Our coverage will begin tonight at 8 o'clock in the evening, and we will also be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to vote today if you haven't already. As for all of us here at WCMO TV, thank you for watching. Don't forget to tune in tonight at 8 o'clock, and tune in again on Thursday at noon 30 for another great edition of NewsCenter 15. Have a good afternoon, everyone. So